Tozai, maybe? Tozai, not sure. AM/FM stereo radio with mini speakers and detachable cassette player. Tozai mini detachable stereo item 807381 $29.99, whatever 120 BCSE means. AM/FM stereo clock with alarm clock, detachable stereo cassette player with automatic stop. Stereo headphones, LCD digital clock, FM stereo indicator, AC/DC power supply, uses 4 AA size batteries, not included. 1 year limited warranty. Wow, okay. Anything different up here? Doesn't look like it. And then there's the back side that looks maybe slightly better than the front side. Take a look at the bottom. Proof of purchase. I mean, you could steal it and still get that tag, I guess. Model ATC-9311, distributed by East West Distributing Company, Deerfield, Illinois, 60015-4681. I do believe that is. Focus. There we go. And yeah, proof of purchase. Okay. Customer brought this to me saying that the tape doesn't work. Look at that. Still in all the original glory packing. I'll try to get it up out of here. Oh, that must be the FM antenna right there. There's some more details right there for you. Yes, ATC-9311. Power supply, AC 120 volts. Really? Does it accept 120 directly? I don't think it does. And then DC 6 volts, 4 times 1.5 AA. Complies with Part 15 of FCC rules. Sure. Yeah. Little speakers. Plastic is melting on them. I'm sure these things are going to rock the house. Should send it down to Williston Audio Labs and let him check it out. And headphones. Now, I swear it mentioned something about an AC adapter, which I'm not seeing in the box. I do have a belt clip that just fell out, but there's nothing on the bottom that talks about the AC adapter. I guess it could have lived in that little void right there, but not quite sure. We'll put that back right there. Let me tidy up. We'll fire this thing up and see what happens. One moment. Okay, there is the Tozai. I guess that's how you pronounce it. Looks like just a little compact stereo system. I mean, little compact stereo system. You could put the speakers on the side. It's got the, I thought I had clips to hold them on, but look what I found. Look at that. It does accept 120 volts AC input, so we're going to have to try that and see what happens. But this is the bonus feature. I guess this unplugs. You can put batteries in the actual little Walkman and put the belt clip on the back of it and use it as an actual Walkman. There we go. Opens up. Spring's a little bit weak in it. No recording, obviously. I can't tell if it has a stereo head, but I would imagine it does since it claims stereo cassette player right there. Not a lot to it. It is passed. We'll see what happens. I think the customer said that it does try to play, maybe with no tape. Once you put a tape in it, it just doesn't want to do anything. So, screaming bad belts. Okay. I'm just going to put some batteries in this thing and see what happens. Then we'll test this part later. One moment. Well, one thing I've got to say for this company, pretty crappy engineering. So there's the first battery going in, and I did verify that I am inserting the battery in the correct direction. As you can see right there, the positive is on that side. There's one. I cannot push the battery back far enough, and I don't want to do any damage to get it to go in on that side. I tried putting that in first, and then let me find a small prying apparatus. Tried to pull that back. It'll almost, oh man, I don't want to force it. It just won't accept both batteries at the same time. So I guess, oh, that one's getting hot because it's shorted. Good, that's perfect. Wouldn't have it any other way. Yeah, good. Well, I guess we're going to have to try it with the DC 3-volt input as labeled right there. So we will see what happens. We'll plug it into the base and I'll try to drag out a power cord for this guy. Goes in something like that. Try to find a power cord, power this thing up. One moment. Okay, power cord acquired. I'm just going to pop this open. Don't know if you can see what's going on down in there or not. And we'll hit play. Oh, you know what? Helps if you turn the power on. There we go. We got power now. Yeah, the clock was out. The clock is back. I don't hear a motor running at all. I do see a brief little flash when I put it into the radio mode. And then we'll try to tune it. Tunes the wrong direction. Okay, so I do see a stereo indicator, so it is picking up something. Should be a station right in here. Of course, I'm sure the alignment is perfect on this thing. Oh well, let's disregard that. I don't hear a motor even running. There's the tape mode. Oh, look at that. It's actually moving. Yep, I think it's got a bad belt because as I stall this, the pinch roller almost stops completely. You can kind of see it right there. Slows way down. Well, let's see if we can pop this thing open. See what the belt looks like inside. One moment. Well, it appears to only have 4 screws that hold this thing together. Okay, well that was quite easy. Well, there are 2 belts. I'm thinking the take-up belt might be okay. This one definitely has a big ripple going on in it there. And still questioning why I can't put 2 batteries in this thing simultaneously, which is ridiculous. They just didn't cast this piece correctly. It should be back maybe another 1/8 of an inch or so. But yeah, this guy, it's worn out. Worn the slap out. Well, let me see if I can find a belt for it. We'll move forward. One moment. Well, I believe that after digging through my bag of belts, I might have found a suitable replacement because I can stall the motor and get lots of slack on it. So it has tremendous torque. I think I will go ahead and remove these 2 screws. I'll probably have to unsolder the battery leads, and then we'll take a look at that other take-up belt at the same time. One moment. Oh, that's not good. Okay, there is the other belt. Let me see if I can find a suitable replacement for it as well. Okay, so the old belt measures about 4 1/8 inches, I would say. And I've got a couple of contenders here. That one's a little bit big, 4 1/2 inches. 4 1/2. I've got this guy, it's a little smaller, but it's a thinner diameter belt, and it measures right just under 4 1/8. So I think we're going to go with this one. And as far as the original belt goes, the original belt measures just barely at tension, about, what would that be? Just over 6 1/2 inches, not quite 6 3/4 inches, so 6 5/8 inches. And then the replacement is like right at 6 1/2 inches. So I think we're going to be just fine. Okay, let's go ahead and prep these new belts, get them ready to install. Regular acetone, you see me do it 1,653 times. Just fold the paper towel over the belt and drag it through a bunch of times to remove manufacturing residue. Just regular acetone. Works great. Okay, let's go ahead and install the belts. I'm not going to go ahead and clean the pulleys because I'm worried that they're going to melt with the acetone. This one's probably going to be the hardest one to install. It's got to go underneath the board. And I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. And maybe. Look at that. Okay, I am happy with that. So I'm wondering what chip this uses. So it is a KA-22136, it looks like. And look at the caps on that. Fulic capacitors. Not a lot to it. I wonder if this has recording capabilities built into it. I'll have to look it up. KA-22136. It's got some crud on there. I wonder if there's any acetone left on my paper towel. Nope, didn't really help at all. But yeah, I'll have to look up that chip, KA-22136, and see what it has to say. Well, they did a good job on that resistor. It's almost touching that capacitor. Of course, it might be the same. It's the same plane, so it doesn't even matter if it touches. I wonder what they're doing with motor speed regulation, just because it's got a single pot. And looks like it's done internally to the chip. Well, let me mount this back up and we'll move forward. One moment. All right, belts are installed, batteries are reconnected, although they don't work. I think what I'm going to do is supply this thing with 3 volts DC, and we'll pop a tape into it and make sure it actually plays. You may have to clean the tape path. I wonder how easily this opens up. Looks like it just snaps on. Although I don't want to do any damage. Let me get a flashlight and I'll get back to you. One moment. Okay, well, it does come open quite easily. It's got these 2 little tabs right there that engage in these 2 little slots, and basically all you have to do is very slightly bow the door to make this part smaller than it originally was, and it'll just pop right out. Now there is the spring, which is almost useless in this thing to keep the door open or closed, but I'm not worried about that. Let me get the power supply set up for 3 volts and we'll power this up. It does actually have a stereo head, and I'm not sure if a tape has ever been played in it. Let me zoom in on that pinch-roller real quick. I mean, I don't see any residue of tape on the pinch-roller whatsoever. And I'm not sure that a tape has ever been played, other than maybe at the factory where they ran the, quote, alignment tape through it and set the azimuth, which I'm sure is absolutely perfect. If this thing recorded, I could probably make record test tapes on it. It would be so close. But I'm going to go ahead and supply 3 volts. We'll get some acetone and wipe off that pinch roller, which has some residue on it, and we'll wipe off the head. And then see if it actually makes beautiful music. One moment. Okay, I do have 3 volts connected to it. Oh, I'm working much, much better. Got a lot of torque now. This only has fast forward, which isn't really that fast. It's just the same as play, minus the pinch roller slowing the tape down. Well, let me get a cotton swab. We'll wipe these things off. Try to find a cord to connect it to my receiver. Pop a tape into it. See what happens. One moment. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. Well, like I said, let me try to find a cord to connect it to my receiver. We'll pop a tape into it and see what it sounds like. One moment. Okay, got tape loaded up into it. Let's hit play and see what happens. That's with the volume all the way up on it going into my receiver. I can control the volume with the receiver. It seems to be playing. Azimuth does not sound that bad. In fact, you'd probably never notice it was off unless somebody told you about it, but actually sounds pretty good. The speed is really close. I think I'm going to put this thing back together, just make sure that the other part of it actually works. One moment. Okay, we seem to be getting some kind of a CAT scan going on right here, but I think it's going to be okay. So I've got it plugged in. I have it on FM. I do have a station tuned.
Jim Steinman. And he originally envisioned
it is playing. That's good.
as a dark
So that's FM.
love song.
There's AM. I don't know if I can pick up anything in here at all. Yep, I do hear something, so the AM does work. Yep, FM is working just fine. Let's go ahead and put it into the tape mode. Pop the tape into it and see if it actually plays. Oh, it goes in the door. Okay, cool. Play. And it does actually play through the device. Well, that's pretty cool. Little tiny, a teensy tiny little stereo system. There you go. It's that big. Rock the house, but do it bump, as Wilson says. Do it bump. I don't think it bumps. Okay, well that's going to be it. Replacing the belts and the Tozai. I even forgot what the model number was. I've got the box right here. What was the model? ATC-9311. I hope everyone enjoyed the video. Hope I didn't waste too much time. Everyone have a great day. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Bye-bye. Tozai? I'm not sure. Tozai Mini Detachable Stereo Item 807381. What is 120 BCSE? Look at that. It's a little boombox. Might have been wet. Let's see. What's it do? AM FM stereo clock radio with alarm clock. You know what? Let's turn on the rest of these lights. There we go. Look at that. Okay, let's just start over.